Hi guys, Flisk here. Welcome to another World of Tanks replay. You are watching me in the T110E5, a tier 10 game obviously, and I get Heavy Tank 15 for the T28 HTC, and I get it with honours because we win. In this battle I will demonstrate how exactly you use the T110E5 in a brawl situation. Now, before I start, a couple of things. First of all, I'm not a unicorn player, I'm not a perfect player, so this will not be perfect. I will make a few mistakes and I'll try and point them out as I go. But it's showing you just how good this tank is. I say this every time I have this tank up on a replay. It's one of my favourites, if not my favourite tank in World of Tanks. It's manoeuvrable, it's small, it's got a fantastically accurate gun with great gun handling, it reloads quickly. It's got decent penetration and mediocre alpha, but decent DPM because of it, the rate of fire. What this thing has in spades as well is armour, and lots of it. I see a Centurion XNX and a Centurion 7-1 on my team versus me, T110E5 against me. So I'm thinking, okay, it's a bit even so far. And then I see a T10, I take a shot. And notice the bounces they've got on me. Look how I'm positioned. I'm wiggling, well, moving back and forth so that and wiggling my turret here. Trying to take a shot to the side of that T110, didn't manage to go through. Wiggling a bit, wiggling a bit, wiggling a bit. Miss from the T10 there. Bounce on the T110E5. Another ricochet from the T110E5. So I've been hit 5 times already this game. Nothing's hurt me. And I hit that T110E5 square in the side. He only hit me and damage retracts. Now, at this point I panicked. I saw where it penetrated me. So it penetrated me directly on my cupola with heat. So what I did was I turned my turret slightly so that when he hit it again, he either hit my rangefinder or hit it at an angle. Now look where I'm aiming. I'm aiming directly in the middle of his cupola because I'm trying to either hit his cupola square, which will pen, or I'm trying to hit that flat band underneath the cupola. That one ricocheted off. And I'm quite content to not push it. I'm quite content to let them bounce on me all day long. A, because I want Heavy Tank 15, and B, because I'm confident in the rest of my team. If I can hold up 3 heavy tanks, that's fantastic. But the T10 moved to the other side of the map after that. Like, there he goes, he's spotted in the middle of the map. So we don't see him again. It's a bit RNG whether it's going to hit the right spot or not, but like I said, I'm not worried. I am running kind of out of ammo, but I'm not worried. I track and hit the T110E5 on the side, and he keeps going. I go for the cupola shot on this one again, I think. Aim again. Now, I hit the rock in front of me. That's not a problem though. Go on, Centurion 7-1. I turned my turret to look at that T110E5 and neglected. That was a mistake I made. I neglected the other one and it hit me in the side of the turret. So I'll take a shot at this T110E5. He fires at the Centurion 7-1. Well, he aims that way. He's already tracked. I just pen him in the side again. And showing off the great DPM of this tank, I was able to reload and fire well before he had a chance to repair his tracks. Now again, the RNG made it hit. Now the hitbox of this little hill here is a bit actually slightly bigger than the hill, as you'll see in a second. That one hit the hill, but there's a couple of shots I take a little bit later on where they look like they're going over the hill, and they don't. They hit a hitbox just at the top of the hill. I try and think, where has he penned me there? I'm not quite sure. That one hit the machine gun porter at an angle. I have a look to see where he penned me. I see he just penned me, you just saw there, a little bit to the left, and the turret hits the left hand side of the turret ring. It's a relatively flat bit, it's a very hard target from the front. Probably went for the same place again and bounced again. That was a lucky ass shot. That is not somewhere I would aim. It hit just to the right of his mantlet, went through the front plate of his turret, but the actual plate, not the mantlet. As you can see that red spot there. And again I missed the fighter. Either I'm hitting the hitbox or I'm just the shots are dunking into the bottom left of the reticule. But I see the T54E1 and the T110E5's push forward because of that. I see my opportunity. I take the tracking shot. I don't mind that it did no damage. He tracked him. and now I'm going to move while I can. And I get behind the rock to such a place where even if it fired, then it'd hopefully bounced. I track him again. I see he's going for the T-54E1, so I've got to push now. He kills the T-54E1, and that artillery spotted. That time I was a bit unlucky. I hit the hull rather than the side, but I went through the track, so I tracked him again. I'm face-hugging this T110E5, making the artillery not want to fire at me. I pull back to fire and pen the side of the T110E5, then I pull straight back into him, so he hits my turret. At this range, I can hit that spot very, very accurately, and I do so. Right on the cupola. It's another bounce. I don't know why he aimed at my hull there. I was angled. That was never going to go through. Maybe he tried to go for the lower plate corner. Now, at that point, I make a mistake. I should have tried to aim properly, and instead what ended up happening was he penned me. But, have no fear. I pen him. It's all to play for now. I don't mind if he pens me. He ricochets. Got to get this hit in to go in. And down he goes. I have rammer, I have vents, and I have brothers in arms on this crew. So if you're wondering how I'm able to turn the turret so quick or reload so fast, that's why. I have 1 round of normal ammo left. Excuse me, guys. And they have 2 artillery and a tank destroyer, and we've got plenty of tanks. And I go to shoot at this enemy artillery, who was last spotted at K1. I know the risks. And as you will see quite clearly, I don't do enough alpha to kill him. I only rolled 1 above, not 50 above. And he's still on 49 health, and he derps me. So I'm just going to switch to my buddy Elfarian, who's in his Centurion Action X. If the game will let me switch over there. Don't think it will. Don't think I can. Now there we go. Now I can move around. There we go. It's switching between the tanks now. Here we go. I'm on Elfarian. He's on 100 health, and they've got the 2 artillery left because they're penetrated. Good shot on the Conqueror gun carriage there. That could have ended badly. Oh, and that was super lucky. A splash only did 11 damage from the 53-55 and destroyed his track. That could have ended so much worse. Our 53-55's coming in for the kill on E1. So, I mean, with that artillery, that was another mistake I made. I could have gone round the other way and surprised him in the rear. But to be honest, I honestly thought he was going to move. But yeah, and that is the end of the game. So, let's have a look at the post-game stats. There we go. Turned me off rather than the game. So here we go. We've got 70,000 credits, which actually was 13,000 because of the ammo we'd fired. 1,633 experience, which was if I just do this by experience, 1,089 base experience. So it did look like we didn't get many medals there, which was a bit of a shame, really. I mean, I died, so a couple of the medals I wasn't eligible for, and I didn't get many kills. First class, we got Bruiser, we got Duelist, we got Fire for Effect. We got some 452 spotting damage on the T10, 48 on the T110E5, and 450 on the other T110E5. I think there was a mixture of tracking and spotting damage there. And we got critical damage on a bunch of the modules. We hit one of the TU-110s 5 times, we hit the other one 5 times, and we hit the M53-55 and the T10 once each. So that was a lot of damage each. If we move to the team score, you can see here I did 4,591 damage, and if we do it by damage alone on both teams, I did slightly more than their Conqueror gun carriage, who had a really good game, and I feel really sorry for him, and their other T110E5, who did some decent damage there, 3,000. But it just wasn't enough. The rest of our team performed brilliantly, and they had 2 Centurion Action X's that both did 0 damage, and a T54E1 and the E75 with very little damage, and the other T110E5 was useless with only 1 hit. So those 5 people combined, you know, that was a bit of a shame really for their team. But we managed to pull out a win, so we put it back to experience here. You know, a lot of our team, I mean, my friend Elfarian, he got Spartan and Hand of God in a Centurion Action X, which is fantastic. Damage block of armor 960. He took 6 hits, but Hand of God, so he received a lot of damage there at the end. As you can tell, he was only on, 50 health or something? Anyway, so we took out the detailed report. We fired 30 shots. I used all 30 of my normal ammunition in that last shot, shooting at the artillery. Direct hits, so we hit 25, penned 12 of them. But notice what I was doing. I did 4,500 damage with those 12 pens. 18 hits received, only 5 pen, 13 non-pens, from basically because they were from 400 alpha guns, apart from the T10, which hit me twice, I think, with a 490 alpha gun. No, it's less than that, isn't it? I can't remember. I think it's 430, something like that. But altogether, basically, 4,840 damage blocked by armor. So combined with my health, it's 8,000, I think, for this heavy tank 15. So I think I got almost enough for the next one, and I think I got enough for the next one, and I think it was almost enough for the fourth one, the object. I think it's 268 or something. So that's fantastic. And we did 950 assistance damage, which is just icing on the cake. Notice how even with premium, we only made 13,000, and without premium, we'd have lost 10,000. That's because I used. I didn't use any consumables, but I did have to repair my vehicle for 25k, and each one of those shots is like 1 and a bit thousand, so that's 31,000 down the drain as well. So that was a T110E5. That is it. Kind of, if you saw what I was doing there, what I was doing was I was just not really interested in doing damage. It was more just holding the line. If they had multiple tanks and it was only me there, if I could hold the line, that our team have got the numerical advantage elsewhere. And it didn't help that one of their T110E5 drivers and their T10 driver wasn't very good, or they didn't have a good game at least. So that kind of really helped me there. And to be honest, like it's quite easy to farm the damage blocked in the T110E5. It's got very trolley armor. Here are where the weak spots are. The cupola is not a weak spot anymore. With the HD model, it got buffed. The round curved bit with the machine gun is very thick and bouncy, and unless you've got extremely high pen, or if you hit it very square, you won't go through. The thin, flat bit below that and just above the turret, so between the machine gun bit and the turret, that is not the thinnest, but you'll pen it with a tier 10 gun, but it is flatter, I should say, than the cupola, so it's a good place to try and pen if you're close range. If you're longer range, you need a bigger target. The bottom left and the bottom right corner of the lower front plate. The front plate lower in the middle is thick and curved and bouncy, and the whole of the upper plate is a no-go. The bottom left and the bottom right front plates are a lot thinner than the middle. They are still curved and bouncy, so make sure you hit them at a good angle, but they are thinner. The sides and rear is garbage, of course, on this tank, and the sides and the rear of the turret are a bit meh. It's the front half of the turret that's fantastic on that tank. The other thing that people forget about the T110E5 is its other characteristics are really good. It's strong across the board. It's got great ground. I think it's got okay ground resistance, but it's got great maneuverability otherwise. Not the best top speed, but it's got good, decent speed. And it also has good gun handling and great DPM and rate of fire. That makes it fantastic for dueling and brawling over tanks. Especially if they make a mistake and say they're on the IS-7 and bounce on you, that gives you plenty of time to pull out, aim, take a shot and pull back in to cover or side scraping or whatever you're doing before they get a chance to fire back. And those things combined make the T110E5 so strong at the moment. I hope they don't nerf it because I love this tank, but it is kind of a bit too strong in all areas. I'm not sure what they'll do. The armor was the main thing that got buffed. It had the gun handling and the maneuverability before the HD model. Now they've given it even... It was bouncy before, but now they've made it even more stupid. So, fingers crossed, they do something sensible with it if they do change it. But it won't be for a while yet. We know how long it takes them to do stuff like this. Anyway, I've been Flisk. Thanks very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, check out my other videos. And if you've got any questions or comments, leave them in the space below. And I'll catch you next time.